do it.
No, I think they got special licensing for that. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Structured Gibberish podcast. We're your hosts.
Most structure you'll get out of any gibberish.
We're your hosts, Brian and Pat. Oh, I pointed the right way and then my hand was off camera. I almost got it right.
It's right over there.
Yeah, that way.
Exactly, that way. I'm pointing right now.
Anyway, welcome to the show. We have the show is packed with jam today. And we're going to start with a bittersweet product.
Start that way.
Is my mic up a little bit too high? Might be. We have a bitter. Oh, you know why? Because I was adjusting the mic because we were playing around with the thing. Okay, I have a new mic up here. The new mic, by the way, is a condenser mic and not a dynamic mic, which means it's focused on me. It's a pencil condenser shotgun mic. If you must know, it's focused on me, but it occasionally picks up other things that are nearby. So when my cat goes on his nightly patrol, you will definitely hear him. Sometimes the noise canceller could get him before, but now he's a regular part of my streams. So
fair enough.
Anyway, Pat, do you know what time it is?
I think I do. It's Morpher time!
Yeah. So we got the Master Morpher.
Yeah.
Pat got one. I got one. I got another one.
It doesn't fit on my hand because I have monkey paws.
It fits on my hand because I'm a normal human. A normal human adult who collects toys. So, yes, we got the Master Morpher. If you don't know, is from the 35th anniversary episode of Power Rangers, Dimensions in Danger, which features the last appearance of Tommy. What was that look for?
Last appearance of Tommy.
Yeah, last appearance of Tommy. Before the...
Who's that?
Yeah, the actor tragically passed away like last year. So anyway.
Yeah, thanks for making it sadder.
Well, I'm telling everybody.
Read the room.
Maybe they don't know. Maybe they were still sad from Kevin Conroy dying and they didn't, come out of their rooms to... Anyway.
Man, stop.
The point is, he's been 5 different Rangers over the course of the years. And in that show, they gave him this thing that they called the Master Morpher. Because if you don't have a Master Morpher, you're nothing but a cheap copy. All right, that's what I say. Anyway,
you're for nothing.
The point is, get that microphone over here so you can hear me. The point is, they gave him this cool Master Morpher, which was in the show just a modification of the Bandai Legacy Morpher, specifically the Red Ranger movie edition Morpher. And basically what it did was the coins in the middle, just whenever he wants to change powers, he just calls out the power he wants, the coin changes, and then he opens it and then changes form to the Ranger he wants, any of his past forms. So we got the Morpher, the belt clip. It's basically the exact same thing. If you have the regular Morpher, which is on the shelf behind me, but my chair blocks it. If you had the original from Hasbro, it's the exact same mold. The base is different. It's a more rocky design, and it has a spot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, for 6 of the 7 coins. There we go. Pat's got it up. And then on the inside, there's storage for the other ones. So, Pat, you can go ahead and name all of them for us so that
there is
everybody knows what they are.
The week reissue, the small birdfoot, communist Russia,
Birdman,
and the Triforce.
Exactly, you nailed it. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was it.
That was perfect. No, you get that was his. So you've got the Green Ranger. His original Green Ranger power is in your Morpher, the dragon foot. Then you've got the Tiger, his White Ranger Tiger power, and then the White Ranger Falcon power, and then his Zeo power, which is the one that I like to keep in the Morpher because I think it looks the coolest, having the star, having the extra splash of color in there. I think looks the coolest. But yeah, Zeo power, and then his Turbo power, Nope. Close.
I almost had it.
Yep. Turbo.
I honestly just don't.
And then Dino Thunder.
Don't really. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If I had a multiple choice of all the ones, I think I would have got it.
That's yeah.
I don't even display any of the other coins. They all go in this handy dandy. They knew that there would be people like me who didn't care, so you can just
drop them in there.
Shove them all in there, and then that's all you need to do. And I'll be honest with you, I play with this on the daily. So it doesn't like it's the base sits on my shelf a lot, but for the most part, I'm just.
It lights up really well. The colors of the lights match.
Yeah, as you can see. So again, I have the green.
Yep, here.
So mine is green. I love that too. Yeah. So if you turn the right way. So if you take the coin out, it's like, oh nope, empty. Sorry, bud. And then like I think if you it'll oh, it's broken.
Yeah.
It's broken.
I like that noise right there.
That is a cool noise. That is. It is nice to hear Tommy saying stuff.
Yeah, I think there's 6 phrases per coin.
And
that sounds about right. And then what?
Secret phrases.
Secret phrases. What secret phrases have you unlocked, Bet?
Just the one from the green coin, because that's the only one I play with.
Okay. Yeah.
Or no, I did the white one. I looked that one up online.
Oh, which one is that? I don't remember what.
I don't even know if it's a secret phrase. It's the one where he just does the milkshakes at Ernie's.
Yeah.
So I know that. So if you do this, if you stop it from opening, I've always put my hand on the wrong side of the button. So if I think if you do that, I don't know. I'm not a I haven't done it enough to know the actual code to get it to do it. But if you do it enough, suddenly he's the bad guy, Green Ranger. And there is a different light effect, and then he like pledges his allegiance to Rita.
That was his popular catchphrase from the show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. It's 1993 and it's Morpher time. That was a silly move on the producer's part. Really dates the.
Go on, keep trying. See what happens.
That's if you just hold it down without letting it open.
Hold it shut. And if you do that a couple of times, maybe, or do you hold it a long time? I don't know. I've had it do it several times, but I don't really know the code.
The original is the best. Don't worry, this is a good kind of green.
What's the bad kind of green?
Go on, keep trying.
When he was evil.
Happens.
Right.
I'm gonna keep trying. I don't know how long you have to hold it for, or if you have to push it a couple of times.
I don't know.
The fact that he says keep trying implies you should keep trying. But I don't know. I'm holding it for a long time here. Well, anyway, you could Google that.
I did it.
Can't hear it. It's getting canceled out by a Skype noise canceller. Oh, actually, it's because it's your headset mic is the mic, and you're kind of holding it.
Right, I'm holding it up. Yeah.
What'd you have to do?
Dragon sword.
No. Hold on. So I'm going to try doing it again so you can see it this time. So all I did was I did that, like holding it open and shut for a few times. So keep trying, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Yours doing it?
ya. Being evil ain't easy.
There you go. We got it.
There you go.
So yeah, I did what you did was hold it down and then kind of chomp with
Yeah,
it.
just until.
It's morphin' time.
But I don't know if we caught it on that or not. But like the lights do a special like
Yeah.
defuse, and then
I'm gonna try this with the other. I never tried this with the Zia one.
they all have something.
Yeah,
I think
I could
Go on.
it always says that.
See what happens.
keep going. Yeah. Right on.
Go on. Keep trying. See what happens.
Come on. Let's see.
Come on, let's see what happens.
I don't know. Feel like the other one had triggered by now.
I mean, to be fair, we messed with it for a long time before it triggered.
Yeah.
Go on. Keep trying.
Maybe
Well,
there
there
isn't
are
one.
secret phrases for you to unlock.
We did get the White Ranger one to happen. One didn't at one point, didn't we?
I'm not on this show, but
I know, I didn't.
I've had it happen.
Let me see here.
Go on. Keep trying. See what happens.
No. Nope. That was just because I opened it. I let it open so far.
That's not it.
Well, anyway. I wanted to.
It's a fun toy, and it was well worth the money because
Yeah.
I was about ready to try to pay aftermarket prices for the last one they released.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about that real quick because this is my custom one.
It's
That's
beautiful.
the Legacy Morpher, which is constructed similar to how they did it for the show. So it's a Red Ranger movie Morpher, and then the front plates are custom ordered gold, like they're actually made. Well, they're not made of gold, but they're like it's metal.
They're made of gold.
And then a different company provided the stickers that go around it, and then a different company gave me all the coins. Well, not gave me, but
They just gave them to him for this
And then-
sponsorship.
and then also the plate that's on the inside, the green plate, that was another thing. So I had to basically take this whole thing apart and swap out all the parts. But this one still does the.
See, that's the one thing that I was bummed about with this one is that I really wanted it to have kind of a cosplay mode where it was just going to be like maybe just the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers sound, music, or like there's not any way to use this where it doesn't come with a voiceover.
Yeah.
So like if you were trying to wear this as part of a costume, which the only apparently, because I'm not as into the scene as Brian is here, I tried to figure out online. I assumed someone would have like the code and how to break it on all these things, and I found nothing of use online. But that's where I found out for sure that the Legacy Morpher is the best one. This one is pretty good, but
So
the Legacy Morpher is allegedly the best.
this one has more
That's what the
like
internet says.
yeah, the Legacy, the Lightning Collection Morpher, the new one, has more play value in the sense that
Right.
there's more coins available. Well, this one officially doesn't exist, so there's that.
right.
Like this one has all the phrases. It's able to change its colors on the inside. This one is always red. No matter what coin you put in it, it's always red because this is a Red Ranger Morpher.
Right.
But this one has the phrases and everything. This one does the noise. It gets stuck a lot too because the tolerances of this green plate are not as good, but it does the noise kind of. I actually forgot how you make it do the. You hold it. So yeah, there you go. So it does that kind of
That's
thing.
what I really, really was hoping for that to happen, but
It's a terrible quality recording.
yeah, it's fine.
The coins are interesting because these coins are custom. They are the ones that came with the Morpher are like really dark washed and everything. And so I got a whole set of even the original ones in this bright shiny color because I prefer that. But like if you look at the details of them, it's definitely like the star is crystally and it's golder, but this one has much more pronounced detail.
Right.
So
I think I would have traded the overall detail for the chrome finish on them. I really like that.
Yeah, someone will do custom ones. Unfortunately, I'm already getting some scratches on this one, which is why I'm not keeping it in the box.
Yeah,
but
every single review I read, it was like, yeah, the red's already coming off of this coin.
Yeah,
they did not use a quality paint on the red.
The only other difference is this one, like all of Hasbro's, and like the very original ones, like I think they copied this from the original. You have to twist it and then it falls out. Whereas the original one has the wonderful feature where if you bump the back, it just falls out. And then you can put it in and twist it however you want. But I prefer the new one, honestly, even though the coins have little tabs on them. I prefer the new one because it's always facing the right direction.
And it's not. I like it in there, but I almost wish it came with like a separate coin that looked like just a coin, because when it's out, it does not look like a coin at all. You got the big tabs. It looks more like a milk bottle top than it does a coin. You know, although the detailing on the backside, which does not at all need to exist because it's detailing on the backside.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
The original, the legacy ones
very cool.
The legacy ones just had the Power Ranger logo on the inside, and the custom ones don't have anything on the inside.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like I said, I'm in no way sad that I bought this. I'm very glad to have it. I'm hoping if everything works out right, I will get the. Is that how you store that?
So the Hasbro one is not designed for that, but that's technically how it should be in the Jew Ranger version. But
interesting.
It's implied that the Rangers have it like stored on their back because they always reach around back and pull it out.
Right.
So it's kind of implied that it's supposed to be stored backwards on their back. The legacy one, when I don't have its thing handy, but it actually did clip in this way. And when you pulled the thing down, that released it.
Oh, that's neat.
The Hasbro ones don't clip in. They don't actually fit that way. They'll fall out. But
gotcha.
Yeah, the implication is that this is supposed to be kind of in their back, although they're often seen like taking it out of their book bags, whatever. But it's supposed to be that you pull it out.
It's a bulky thing. Like, what if you're not wearing a belt? Brian, you do that like a pro, buddy. Like a pro.
I may have practiced.
I also wish I did find a company. I can't remember its name off the top of my head. They do sell stickers for not this model specifically, but for the Hasbro ones, because the Toy Hacks has some really beautiful stickers, but only for the Legacy Morpher, I think. And so not the Lightning Collection stuff. I wish they would make them, but they apparently don't. Because like I said before, I just want this. I want this to be a Green Ranger Morpher. I don't care about anything else. All the other stuff is just kind of fun bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
So I would really love the sticker to go around here to cover up the Master Morpher stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just leave it like that. And like I said, hopefully, I also like everything I found. None of it all pales in comparison to the sticker set that came out for the legacy ones. But I would love the better detail on the back. The sticker there should be some kind of a sticker here. I think your other one has a good set of stuff on the back there. Yeah. So
I think these just the red is unique to the movie Morpher. The normal ones do look like this on the back. It's just gold and black.
Well, they have a lot of they had a lot of detail stickers, like even for like this area to make it look a little bit more fancy pants and whatnot. I love stuff like that. I really do. Like if I'm gonna have a piece like this where I feel like this is like my I love the Green Ranger piece. I could have this in my living room, and people be like, oh my gosh, is that the Green Ranger Morpher? Or more likely to be like, what the fuck is that? But I would like to have all the bells and whistles. I always enjoy when there's like a little add-on packs that make things even better.
Yeah. I'm checking to see if Toy Hacks has done anything for these, and it looks like they have not.
Now, did you see that one? They got the one set. It's a beautiful set. Like raised parts of the stickers, all tons of different options for colors, like the even the little like black stripy pieces, like there's like 3 different color finishes, like matte and gunmetal and all sorts of cool stuff. But they have yet to tackle this one. I don't know why. Wish they would.
I'm looking to see if the company that made the labels for my custom one is called BD15 decals.
I think they do.
Do they make it for the new one?
Oh, not this one specifically, but for Lightning Collection ones, I thought I found those on there. If that's the one I recall. So
okay, yeah. Legacy. 93 Morpher, 93 Morpher, 93 Master Morpher label. Is this the one that I got, or is this a new thing? This looks like this is not. Yeah, that's the one that I got. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will. Let's see. Legacy Morpher, Junior Power Ranger Legacy Morpher. Legacy Premium. I'm sure they'll get around to it eventually.
One day.
Let's move on to our next topic because it is related. I wanted to talk about the fact that Power Rangers ended.
Yeah.
The other day. Cosmic Fury was season 30, and it's the last season of the show. They are talking about a reboot, as you know. Will the reboot happen? No idea. It's been kind of on pause for like 2 years.
And then the strikes didn't help anything?
Yep. I'm pretty sure they announced this reboot like in they've never officially announced anything, but they have kind of talked about directions for the future. And there's Jonathan Entwistle is the creative assigned to figure out what to do with Power Rangers. And this whole thing, we've heard absolutely nothing out of them in like 2 or 3 years. So it feels like this is a slow roll for sure, and probably we don't know what to do with this kind of a thing. But at the very least, if the writer's strike ends, and
writer's strike is over.
If the writer's strike, if everybody gets back to work,
it's the actors that we're still waiting on.
If everybody gets back to work, and they start this thing like right now, it won't be out till like late 2025. So. Right. Either way, we've got a while to wait and see what happens. Will they just do like movies from now on? Will there be new TV shows? But almost certainly they are not going to be adapting Sentai footage anymore. It'll be whatever it is, it's going to be new. And it's going to be a reboot. Who knows what they're going to do. But,
right. I feel like we've probably been barreling towards that for a while anyway. Like the easier. You're right there, buddy?
Yeah, I just had to adjust my foot. It was stuck in a other foot.
The easier it gets to produce even low quality CGI, the less and less they're gonna want to be forced to tell stories because this person did this on this show, and not just because they said, I mean, heck, at this particular juncture, they could tell an AI to make a fight, and it'll be just about as good as what I've seen from the show, from several of the seasons of the show. Not all of them. But.
So Cosmic Fury only uses Zord footage from Q Ranger, which is a Sentai series that Toei and Bandai and Saban had worked together on, because Toei was like, you guys keep telling us our Sentais are going like too Japanese culture-wise. So let's make one that if you adapt it, American audiences will totally get it. And it's space and constellation themed. Yeah, it's like there's nothing about, they're not even from Earth, most of them. In Q Ranger, they travel to Earth about halfway through, and one of the Earthlings joins the team. Everybody else is not from Earth. So, and also it's a child, because they like to do that kind of thing. So anyway, they ultimately skipped over that season to adapt until now, when they were just like, yeah, we could just use the Zord footage. The Zord footage, it was fairly easy for them to adapt the Zord footage, because it's just like the way they did the show. And I'm going to be a little spoilery here for certain events, but nothing major. I'm not going to spoil like a major like turning points or plot points or anything. But the way they did the Zords was just basically like, there's 12 Zords. They just get them all at once. Well, they get 11 and then they get another one. But they have a kind of like a rotating roster of Rangers that are around throughout the season. And they can remote control. They can either sit in the Zords or they can remote control other ones. And so it's just like, oh, this fight footage called for these Zords. Sure, those are the ones we're using in this fight. Whatever. Everybody just jump into a Zord. Doesn't have to match your color. Just get in a Zord. Get them together. Let's fight this guy. Because the Zords, it's actually like the Zords and the powers are completely unrelated to each other. The Zords, they find on the same planet that the Shogun Zords were on, the planet Zordnia, which apparently just has Zords all over it. And the powers, Billy made them. Because Billy, why not? Billy could do that.
Right.
So the Rangers, like the Zords, are just like, oh, Rangers are calling for us? Yeah, we'll just go. It doesn't even have to be these guys. Any Rangers could call for these guys, apparently.
Any Rangers will do.
So it's the way this season is, because it's 10 episodes that came out all at once. There's no filler. It's a constant. You could binge it and it feels like watching a long movie. It feels like it's shot more. I don't want to say more professionally, but like it's shot more. It's closer to a modern TV show as opposed to like a kids TV show that is also trying to adapt Japanese footage. You know, like they do a much better job of camera angles. Like varying the types of camera angles.
A little more cinematically.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Pat. It's a bit more cinematic, and it is like the effects are better because they had less episodes to get done and they had lots of time to just do them all.
Right.
The effects are better. The acting is the same as it always is.
Billy is in this.
Yes, Billy is in it, and he is doing his best. I actually think he's better in Once and Always. He feels very back to 1993 in this show.
Does he? That's hilarious.
So
I was gonna say he did great in Once and Always. I mean, he was still Billy, but he maybe regressed a touch.
Yeah, but in terms of the other like character development, they do, I think, a fantastic job. People were very worried about Amelia being the Red Ranger and Zato not being the Red Ranger anymore and getting either promoted off the team, or demoted. No one was quite sure what was going to happen with him because he was dead at the end of the last season.
That does put a damper on one's career.
Yeah, but the way they handled it felt extremely natural. Like when the moment comes, when she becomes the Red Ranger, it's just like, yeah, that fits. She deserved that. Makes sense. They call back to a lot of different things. It's almost like they made a list of plot holes and we're like, we're just going to plug up all the plot holes in this last season with just like an offhanded comment. Every time you said like, man, they could have just fixed this with an offhanded comment about something. That's what they did.
The piece of cords? They talked about the piece of cords.
Did they talk about the piece of cords? I thought
I'm sure they didn't.
No, they didn't talk about the piece of cords. I thought somebody went to the Pan Global Games at some point. They talk. Oh yeah, that's right. Izzy's girlfriend Fern was going to the Pan Global Games, the thing that Kimberly left to go compete in. They do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
But SPD takes place 1 or 2 years in the future from now, which was 20 years basically when it aired.
Right.
And they live in New Tech City, and there's a ton of aliens around because it's the future. And in this show, they're just like, yeah, Zed invaded and a bunch of aliens lost their worlds and had to come to Earth, and we're putting them all in New Tech City. We're setting up like temporary housing for them and stuff.
Everything's bigger in New Tech City.
Yeah, they gave Heckle his redemption arc
They had to.
from Dino Charge. So it was good. It was a good... we got to see the Dark Ranger in real life, and it was very cool.
Wasn't pretend. It wasn't pretend?
No, it wasn't pretend. It was real life.
It was for really real
It was
life.
real, yeah. They just made him a ranger and filmed it. Like, it wasn't even special effects. It was real.
Wasn't special effects or nothing, man.
Yeah.
It was
Totally real.
magical.
Yeah. Ultimately, the series as a whole, the 30 Years of Power Rangers, ends on a hopeful note with it's exactly what you always say, of like, the heroes rode off into the sunset. There's going to be more adventures to come. We're not going to see them, but we can rest assured knowing they saved the day, and that's
and they'll keep saving the day out there forever.
Exactly. And it's not like, yeah, half of them died and we're all very sad now, or they're old and grumpy and or whatever it is.
Right.
It's everybody makes it almost entirely through without losing any limbs. Almost everybody doesn't lose any limbs. And they do a great job. We get to see
except for old Johnny Two Arms.
Yep.
He loved having two arms.
It really sucked that he had that nickname.
It was unfortunate that he had that name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old Johnny Two Arms.
Yeah. But no, the Blue Ranger, I will say this, the Dino Fury Blue Ranger, people had speculated that he becomes evil in the series, and he does. So I will say that. Happens pretty much right away. Mm-hmm. And he remains that way for quite some time. He's basically other than Lord Zed, he's the main villain of the season. And they do a really good job with it, because he's probably the weakest actor of the main cast. And there's one part where he's pretending he's been cured, and Amelia's like, you always were a bad actor.
That's awesome. You suck at this, and we're just calling you out.
I don't know how tongue-in-cheek that was, or if that was just an unfortunate thing, but I laughed at that part. So we do see one other Mighty Morphin Ranger in the season. But this... Did
you tell me about that?
No, I didn't. We don't see them unmorphed, though. We only see them in costume.
You should tell me about it later.
It's Min. It's Trini's daughter.
You did tell me about that. That's not technically a Mighty Morphin as far as I'm concerned.
I'm just saying, we don't even see her unmorphed. She's only in the suit. But
whatever.
This there's been a lot of debate. I don't know why there's been a lot of debate as to whether or not this comes before or after Once and Always. It's definitely after. So it's...
Why would that even be a debate?
I don't know. Like, if
Ming was there, then it was after.
If you watch it with your eyeballs, you will...
Oh, I see. A lot of people do watch TV with their butts.
Yes. So the clues are, at one point, Billy goes back to the command center and he calls them from the command center, and Zordon's energy tube is cracked in the background where Robo Rita was released.
Right.
Yeah. So it's after the event when Rita gets released. And then there's like I don't want to see that.
No, I'm just watching some TV.
After there's like a 1 year time jump in Once and Always. So the tube cracks, and then immediately, spoiler alert for that one, if you didn't hear us talk about it, Trini dies like right away. And then a year later, Min becomes the Yellow Ranger. So it is after the crack, and they have a Yellow Ranger ipso facto. This is after Once and Always, because there you go. So anyway.
After the crack is probably an unfortunate...
It's honestly...
turn of phrase to choose.
They probably could have used some. I think the show would have benefited from
crack?
From crack, yeah.
From crack cocaine?
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I don't feel like there's any weak episodes.
Just dailies?
Mick Canick makes an appearance for a while, the mentor from Ninja Steel, who is, one of the longtime Power Ranger actors, Kelson Henderson, who started in well, actually his first appearance was in Dino Thunder. His first recurring role was in SPD, and then he was in like 4 or 5 different seasons as various different suited, like heavily make-upped or unheavily make-upped characters.
He's been around, is what you're saying.
He's been around, and he is beloved by the community because
Well, that's nice.
he engages
That's
with
fun.
the community a lot, and people always like to,
I really like that when an actor, so a lot of times, some actors may look down on a smallish role, but if they live it up, you're going to find that community. That's awesome.
This is he is an actor that can put a lot of energy, a lot of goofy energy into his roles. He's one of those, and he does. And again, they call it out in the show. Like at one point, someone's mom gets a call from him, and she's just like a guy with I forgot how she puts it, but basically like a guy with way too much energy is on the phone or something like that. I don't remember what it is, but anyway,
that's fun.
We do see. So I had predicted that they were going to bring Zordon back to life by the end of this, and I don't know if I should say whether or not I was accurate. I feel like that would be a spoiler.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because we did talk about this. I feel like what you're wanting to say is kind of a spoiler. You want to just do the spoiler alert and tell the kids to earmuff for 5 minutes or five seconds while you talk about it?
Sure. Give me the spoiler alert. You guys, if you don't want to hear it, just hit mute for like a minute.
I'm going to give you a thumbs up for when you come back. Okay, here's the spoiler alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
No, they do not bring him back to life, but part of him is in the morphing grid. Ion gets to talk to him. He tells him, may the power protect you, and sends him back. Ion gets sucked into the morphing grid, and then Zordon sends him back. It's not all of Zordon because he was scattered by the wave, the Z wave, but enough of him is there that they could potentially bring him back in the future if such a future was going to happen with this continuity, which it probably won't. But I thought that was another good nod of like, there's hope for the future.
Right.
We didn't go the route of just bringing everybody back to life or anything like that, but we could assume that maybe in the future they do, So anyway, that's the end of Power Rangers as we know it. And now we will go into the Dark Ages, where we will not have any toys or show, but we will have comic books for a couple of years. And that will be that.
Here's the thing though. I feel like I was thinking about this, and Power Rangers was one of the things that popped into my head. I feel like I want to say they, but I think we should just do this. There should be like now that we have this like kind of what we were talking about earlier off the air, there's this longevity to things now, because it's not you watch it and it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your older brother got to see all of that show and now it doesn't exist anymore and you can't have it. I think we should start making media specifically to grow with a kid. You start something now that is easily accessible, so you could actually start at any time, but then it grows with you. So you started, it's a learning ABC kind of a thing. Same characters bring you into like Muppet Babies space. Same characters bring you up into, your Transformers, He-Man, adventure stuff. Then it gets even more hardcore. You have a live action movie kind of cap things off, and you run a, universe for 10 years after that. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't we make media like that where you could, because obviously the people want to do that. Our generation is like the catalyst for this.
Yeah.
We took on things like Power Rangers, like He-Man, like Transformers, and we just wanted to keep it with us. And if you made the media specifically for that, you formulated that plan from the get-go, you got 20 years worth of content to build easily.
Yep.
You
I
know?
feel
So
like what you're describing is one, something Hasbro really, really wants to do. Like the way
right.
that they are like, we have a Transformers show for every age range, essentially. And the way like Rescue Bots kind of rolled into Rescue Bots Academy, but then also rolled into Robots in Disguise, which was the sequel to Transformers Prime and everything. It's like they're trying to figure out how to do that, how to grow with it. But I think what actually was the most successful with that so far was really the very early Power Rangers, where, because like your main problem is you can't keep young actors around for too long without them getting old, and then like the plot doesn't work anymore. So it's like, but those first 6 seasons where it was like, or even 7 seasons where it was like, yeah, we're following the same people. There's a continuity, even when characters come and go, there's a continuity of the plot.
Right.
You know, you kind of grow like you could, the first 7 years of Power Rangers is a continuous story, you know,
Right. And it works because, you know, like, even though my love for Power Rangers, you know, faded with after the first like 3-4 seasons, I would still get sucked in because suddenly Tommy would be back, or, you know,
yeah,
whoever that meant something to me, you would be like, oh, they were in this. I'd be like, oh, I got to see at least that part. You know, I would get back involved. I would get, you know, find my space again. And I really just feel like that's an interesting avenue. But I see what you're saying with the bots and everything, like I want to see a story that evolves
yeah,
from beginning to end. I want to see that.
The Power
like,
Rangers is a better example.
Right. The Power Rangers did, but Power Rangers never did they never took that last step.
Because they weren't doing it on purpose. They were flying by the seat of their pants, and it just worked out that way.
If they could have done something where the Power Rangers got to be more adult, got to be more, you know, and then like almost what would be interesting is if they literally just kept each show going for an age group, and that age group kept changing, you know, like, so you would get a different team in the younger stuff starting at you know, like year 3. You know, you'd give like some kind of, there are scientists, research groups that would figure out the you know, the in-betweens. But if you could get like a kids show that appealed to like 5 to 7-year-olds, and then a 7 to 10, and you know, whatever that age group was, you let that run with those characters for 3 years, and then they graduate up.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's like,
and so that team of people would still appeal to the next one, but you would fill that old slot with just new characters in that same world, doing the same thing, giving something fresh and new. You're still selling new toys to kids, but you're still now you're selling the kids' toys to kids. You're selling the action figures to the young adults and the adults, and then you're selling the movie tickets to the parents, and then the parents could take the kids and be like, this is my Power Rangers. Like you said, Power Rangers so far has been the closest to this idea that anybody's ever come to.
If it had truly been, if they had kept with this, then it would be like, you know, in 1993, it's, you know, you're little kids, you're watching this show, you're growing up with it, the show grows with you. By 2003, the show is like bloody and gory and edgy, and people are dying and everything. Then by like 2023, it's everybody's like, oh man, we got to lighten up. We need humor back. My back hurts. All the Rangers these days are too young. Why are the Rangers on TikTok these days? The Rangers weren't on TikTok when I was a kid.
Exactly. Except for, you know, less depressing, because this is fantasy we're selling here. But
why don't they ever let anybody move back into the abandoned warehouse district?
That's where the homeless are. That's how we keep the homeless population down in Angel Grove.
Hey, let's switch topics, because we got through 2 topics. Two and we got a lot of topics to get through.
All right, let's do it.
And I have been playing with this guy for like the last 20 minutes, because I brought up the list and I was like, oh yeah, he's the next topic, and then we just kept on talking about this. So I guess there's a very long backstory as to how I wound up with this guy, because it was a surprise to me how I wound up with this guy. But A long time ago, Pat bought me some Common Rider model kits, some pseudos.
Yes, we talked about them
at the Asian market or whatever you call the place.
Sua.
So, sure.
I doubt that that's the proper
Sequoia.
pronunciation. But
That was actually probably pretty racist. I should not have done that. Anyway,
you just got canceled.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, you gave
no
me.
one watches this show.
You wanted not this guy, but you got this guy anyway because he was a two-pack with
the cutest, teeniest, tiniest Cosmo figure. Ooh, I always screw up which way I'm looking. It's so tiny.
These are very tiny. These are third-party Transformers from what company is this from?
I don't even know. I gave you the box.
Dr. Wu. Dr. Wu.
I look like a Dr. Wu.
This is a very nice. You do actually. This is a very nice quality trading card.
It is, right?
Dr. Wu started out very. I mean, I assume but I don't know. Has been around for like since the third-party boom took off, like sometime between 15 and 20 years ago, which is I am now like actually graying as I say that. But
what is your character's official name? Because I love Cosmo's name on this.
Turbo. I'm Turbo.
Space Disc.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, my guy is Ramjet, but he's Turbo on his official third party. So these are just slightly larger than the world's smallest.
I was going to say,
smallest transforming Transformers.
I keep him in my beloved Tupperware of super teeny tiny things. And so I'll see Soundwave.
Mm-hmm. Is that a third party or is that the smallest Transformer?
This is the world's smallest knockoff.
Okay. World's smallest knockoff. I love how intricate the transformations are on these guys. I'm trying to do.
Yes, that's one of the things I definitely wanted to point out.
Little arms and everything.
Is my audio and video coming through okay on my end? It looks really terrible.
You suddenly got pretty terrible. Yes, suddenly. I can still hear you though.
Well, that's good. So I'm going to try to do most of the transformation here so you guys can see, because it is pretty intricate, especially for the scale. So you turn his little butt flap up like that and pop his arms. They interlock like very nicely. He's got like a little, I don't know if you can see it, but you actually like push his hips forward a little bit.
Got a little hip action going on.
We got a little hip action, got knee joints, ankle joints. Again, this you have to like pull out like that. So his feet do separate. Then his arms, I was a little worried because his arms are on these little tiny spindly pieces of plastic. You can't really see it there.
I can see.
But
they showed up at the last second.
Lock in very nicely. And then he's got his little fists. Head pops out. The head does turn side to side. But I mean, that is a stellar Morphin time.
Phenomenal.
Look at that little guy. He's so tiny.
And he's got like the good cartoon proportions and everything.
He does. It's this I don't want to play favorites, but this is my favorite Cosmo.
You broke your own rule right away.
So there he is with the most recent Walmart exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
very good,
very, very cute. And I mean, honestly, like this is almost a dead ringer for like this is the exact same toy, just smaller.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they did such a good job with these. It was what is it? I think they were $29 for the pair.
Yeah.
So in all reality, it's not that bad.
I mean, you know,
$15 a figure for
the
a third party
prices used to be outrageous, but thankfully Hasbro raised their prices to match. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Well, here, let me show you my guy. I just
you're not on there. Bring yourself back up.
I did it while we were off camera, but he's really good. He doesn't transform at all like any of Hasbro's. It's a completely unique transformation.
Yeah.
Even Hasbro's smallest scale. I was going to grab one, but he's like a foot out of reach above my head. But their smallest core scale these days is like twice as big, at least, as these. And this is a completely unique transformation. You end up with the arms kind of upside down facing forward, which is a little weird because at least on this guy, you can see his fist from the front. But I assume in like a Starscream where the wings are further forward, you wouldn't see that. So. But I mean, either way, I mean, it's a tiny little guy. I love it.
His transformation, like especially like the way the shoulders, like the shoulders and the chest piece, kind of like end up weirdly popping out and stuff. Like it's just a very complex and very nice transformation. Yeah, I was a little confused. I rarely have to look at the instructions, but because he's so small, I didn't want to force anything.
Did this come with instructions?
You should have got instructions in the box. Well, should have been with the card.
I must have just been really good at it because I figured it out on my own.
Well, I was gonna say you're a master. I'll double check and make sure that I don't have.
Turbo is a powerful air warrior equipped with powerful weapons and the highest yield bombs capable of destroying all mobile targets. Destroying everything without fear is his declaration of battle, and the 2 huge bombs are a symbol of his force.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know there was English on that card. So
I didn't either until I
am going to put on my
the way it's
readers.
Written, because you can't see it here because it's blurry. I just thought it was like the fine print on the bottom. Like my brain is trained that if there's tiny words on the bottom of a thing, you could just ignore it.
Just ignore it.
Such a good quality card, though. Can you hear that?
Space Disc is a unique warrior, although the combat ability is not very strong. He can directly go to space.
There you go. Like a disc.
Oh, I'm sorry. To carry out missions.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's also a strong intelligence gathering. He has a strong intelligence gathering ability and is an indispensable good partner. He's a very giving lover.
That's right. Him and Soundwave.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so like here's you get a nice little instruction sheet, which again you should have gotten, but I always love when they come like this because it's like we show you how to transform it from a robot to a vehicle. And I know it's just backwards, but for whatever reason, it really messes with my brain. But we're going to give it to you in vehicle form and show you how to transform it the other way. Enjoy! Yeah, see, there's the box. Got the box.
Oh, okay. Look at that. I'm really bad at taking things out of the box, but this is what the box looked like.
Nice box. Doesn't
Yeah, this is okay. This feels like a poster.
It does. Like the quality of everything is very top notch. Like we said, the card is awesome.
Particularly what I like is that the instructions are just about the exact size of the guy.
Yeah. If you hold them at the right angle, it's just about there.
Okay, new topic, Pat. New topic. Let me check the thing. It's Halloween's coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Skeleton warrior guys.
You're a transition master, sir.
Thank you.
Transition master. So I was so excited when these guys got announced, and I finally have them. They sat in my big bag toy store pile of loot for a little while because they were like the only thing, and I didn't want to ship just one thing. But here they are. They are. I froze a little there.
I'm checking the weather because I got an alert that a storm is coming, and that usually knocks out the internet.
Storm is brewing. So. Yep. So as you can kind of see, they're giving off a little bit of a glow. They do glow in the dark.
Nice.
The thing that's kind of a bummer is that you can't see how nicely detailed they are, and that's my biggest gripe with glow in the dark toys.
Mm-hmm.
The light translucency really does wreak havoc on what you can see. I love those eyes. Look at those eyes. They got just like the little speck of paint like way back there, so it kind of looks like he's looking at you. You know, what I found very interesting about this 2-pack of what you would assume are just two nameless warriors, because again they are literally the exact same toy, just painted differently with some different weapons. They also came with the Scare Glow sickle and a Ram Man axe.
The Scare
in the
Glowsicle.
That's right. And I think this is I'm pretty sure this shield is unique to them. It's got a little skeleton face on it. It's pretty fun. But the sword is just I think that's a Gray Skull sword, and this is King Randor's spear, and I also think Whiplash, and I think it maybe came with Castle Grayskull. They love reusing parts, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, these are Skeletor's feet. You know, they reuse a lot of parts.
Mm-hmm.
And look at that. They did that thing that I hate.
Where the boots way too big?
Those boots are way too big.
I mean, skeletons don't get custom ordered like boots for bones.
That's true.
Right? There's boots for big people.
They're just boots for regular old human people.
Boots for skinned people.
So
or unskinned people. People who have not been skinned, who have skin.
There you go. I find the comic book that came with it filled with intrigue. First of all, they did not put the logo on the cover. All the other comic books like this come with the Masters of the Universe logo. There's even a nice empty space up the top there. So this is almost what they would call a virgin cover, where they did not.
They leave it as an exercise to the reader to add the logo to the
right
to the book.
now draw in logo. So I don't know. I assume this was the full run, but every so often there are mistakes. So I don't know for sure if there's other ones out there that have the logo or not. The comic, which I'm not going to read to you in its entirety because that might get us in trouble, is very interesting. I checked this out, of course, when I got it, and what I found interesting is that they went to the trouble of giving this one a backstory. Not this one. This one is a faceless whatever skeleton warrior. This one is a character with a name and a very deep backstory. The deep backstory starts with there's a character. I don't know if they ever gave his actual name. Not the thing that I had. I'll explain to you in a second. He's just like a great and mighty warrior. There's a picture of him there. Great mighty warrior. You know, you see he's wearing the same armor he's wearing now. But he is in fact killed in battle. They also established that he is a father and that he loves his daughter very much.
Okay.
And then he is immediately killed in battle.
Of course, as you do.
Garrick is his name.
Okay.
Garrick. So, but because of his battle prowess, even though he was killed in battle, Skeletor was like, hey, that guy sounds like a good guy. I'm going to get him.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes his
I'm going to put me back on so you can see my facial expressions.
Pull it on in. He takes his remains and reanimates them as this skeleton warrior.
Okay.
And so I don't know if any of you out there do this. I'm pretty sure this is a relatively common practice, especially for people like me who I have dyslexia, and so I don't read very well anyway. So if I see a completely unfamiliar and obvious foreign word, like, you know, a name, and like, I don't know any names of any Star Wars characters that haven't been spoken out loud to me in a movie. If I read it in a book, I'm just like, yeah, that's the one that starts with K. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was the same for me. So Skeletor says, rise, and then says his name, leader of my skeletal warriors. And so I was looking at this right before we went on air here, because I was like, oh, I should figure out what his name is, and I'm like, Sada Cadaver. His name is Cadaver. And I love it so much. This is my new favorite Masters of the Universe figure. It's Cadaver. It's CADA-VAR.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful, and I love it so much. But so like it gets like really interesting in this little like 4-page comic. They're doing their job here. So the guy, basically, Skeletor says, P.S., because Cadaver was a hero. He was like, I don't want to work for you. I get you resurrected my bones and such, but I don't work for you. I'm a good guy. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, in this orb is your daughter. I have your daughter.
Classic.
You have to do everything I say, or I'll destroy the orb and kill your daughter. And I'm going to put this in the dungeon. So basically he works for Skeletor. He does what he's supposed to. He's good at his job. Years go by, apparently. Years and years go by. And he hatches a plan, which is really quite cool, where he like sneaks in. He's going to steal his daughter's orb and leave. And my favorite part comes in where he like beats up all of Skeletor's minions, the classic ones we all know. And Triclops is laying on the ground. And he's like, "Who do you think you are?" And he goes, "A father," which I thought was really corny, but I liked it a lot. But again, I want to show you because I want this figure like bad. This is essentially Demo Man is who he kind of becomes here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a wicked beard and a full like Viking helmet thing going on. Well, I guess it's the same helmet, but the armor definitely has gotten upgraded over the years. Unfortunately, of course, I don't know, Skeletor probably heard him beating up all the people, because by the time he gets to Skeletor's cabinet of people, apparently he's holding hostage.
Let me give you the thing so you could the copyright people can see it up close.
Right, yeah, look at that. Skeletor's like, "Oh, you mean this daughter? You still work for me, bitch." So that's pretty much how it went. And at the end, he swears his allegiance back to Skeletor. I am invested. I want to see where this character goes. I want his other bearded skeleton figure.
Mm-hmm.
What a great this set did everything that I could have ever asked for. I'm glad you switched back onto that, everybody.
Sorry, I was getting a little chapped.
Yeah. So the comic was fun, great, informative. It brought a character to life in 4 pages of literally an army builder.
It brought him to life. This man who was dead.
This skeleton man has been brought to life.
Yeah. Resurrected by a comic book.
Exactly. It's beautiful. If only he could save his daughter. Yeah, so I'm down, man. I am a fan of Cadaver. Cadaver?
Cadaver.
I think
it's just
Cadaver. It's funny. No, I think it's much funnier when they pronounce it like not like the thing. Like his name is Cadaver. like, yes, this is my mighty warrior, Cadaver. Cadaver? No, Cadaver.
Yes, man-y faces.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So again, I am very happy. There was an onslaught of Masters of the Universe stuff recently. They released the whole, well, it's all pre-order, so it's not really released, but they put up the pre-orders for the new cartoon, like the Filmation line. That all looks great. And in a really weird move, I don't know if you heard about this, but the newest Mattel Creations Skeletor was a 2-pack. You know what Gary V is?
He's from. He was the precursor to the 1967 show Gary 7.
No, Gary V is like an influencer of some sort, but he's like a little older than we are. Like he basically apparently relatively looked down on in the toy community, because he is the one who like turned everybody wise to buying like old action figures at garage sales and flipping them, you've probably seen him before if you were to look for him.
Gary 7 was 1968. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Gary V is they're doing a I don't know if you want to call it like a mashup or I don't know, but Gary V apparently like he's big into the NFTs and things like that, and he made like a little skeleton character, and it's a 2-pack of this skeleton character who is dressed like Skeletor. They gave him the purple hood and I think the armor, and regular Skeletor, but it's the new animated version. And you can't get this version, yet. If Big Bad Toaster is to be believed, he's several months out. But this is probably not going to get to us until then anyway. But whatever. The coolest part about it is that this edition has different expressions for Skeletor. So you could hear there's like the classic surprised Skeletor, extra angry Skeletor, and of course the animated Skeletor was always kind of a little angry. So that you get 3 different face plates that you can't get anywhere else. So of course I did order that one. I don't know what the fuck I'm sorry for my language. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with learn to bleep. Put us on a delay. He also comes with a metal hand. I don't know. I don't really know why. And then also one hand that's doing this, because the little skeleton also has a hand doing this. They can do this together. So yeah. So it's coming. I'm gonna get that eventually if I bought it.
It's gonna happen.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited about the multiple faceplates. I don't know
the Manny faceplates.
The Manny faceplates. I don't know that I'm excited at all about the funny little other Skeletor, but I love collecting Skeletor things. So we'll call it a good purchase, I guess. So anyway, also lots of other crazy cool Masters of the Universe stuff. You should check it out. Go online. That's where you find stuff.
Yeah, just go online. You guys know.
Go online.
You know where the internet is. Go get it.
It's check the internets.
I was half in the process of turning this guy back into a robot. Now I feel like we've reached a point where the conversation needs to change to a new topic, and I'm you're deep in thought. I say, I just felt a piece hit my leg.
Is it a missile arm?
But no, it wasn't. What is it? Oh, his chest. He's got like this little chest piece thing that just falls off. Like I should drop if I could get a dab of glue small enough, I would get it back on, but it's really, it slots in pretty well. Unless you're transforming him, then it tends to pop out. But anyway, so the next topic that I wanted to talk about is the 40th anniversary Transformers reissues. These are, it's the 40th anniversary next year. Technically, actually, I think technically like right now is when the comics first started. So, and I think the first toys technically actually hit shelves in 83, but 84 is traditionally the year we celebrate Prime Day. Yes. The day that Transformers first started. And they're doing these 40th anniversary reissues. Now, what's interesting is that these reissues, they've been doing reissues for the past several years, just kind of randomly at Walmart, with whatever molds they still have. And recently, in the past year or two, they started doing cartoon colored reissues of G1 toys that are for the movie. It was for the anniversary of the movie, the 86 movie. And they just kind of kept this rolling with movie-based packaging, which looks like this. They made up new packaging as if the movie had just come out, and it's even got like the original Hasbro logo on it for some reason, like as if Transformer boxes ever looked like this, which they didn't. Like they never looked like this, but they just kind of made up like, what if we had Transformer the movie toys back in the day? I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I really like the box art.
The box art is great. It is not retro, but it is great. So what I have, because I wanted to make use of my review table. So what I have done is set up a couple of the guys here.
Ooh,
So
I
that you
do
could-
love those colors, man.
You could see what they look like with the cartoon colors. Now, I had this one as a kid, and all of these like shiny gold parts were chrome gold on the original.
Oh,
And the fact that these are now the kind of like matte silver-ish, it makes it feel like, and it was the same with Hound, who has a lot of die-cast in him, but he's just like the colors are so flat, it feels like it's not G1. Like none of these, except for maybe Hot Rod, none of these even feel like they're G1 toys because of the way the colors are
right.
more modernly applied, which I actually think is kind of cool because I have many of these guys in their original G1 colors and like the original G1 releases. Starscream comes with this Megatron gun that I think he had in one previous reissue, but not originally, because they had to remold his gloves to be able to hold it. But he's like die-cast in the middle and everything. But I love these guys because the Transformers reissues have been happening basically since always. They've always reissued G1.
Right.
And
well, technically, aren't Transformers in general are a reissue of the Takara toys, right? Technically,
the first year, yeah.
In a manner of speaking,
yeah.
So I mean, it's in their DNA, is what I'm saying.
These ones here, were like Takara ones from Diaclone that were brought over.
Right.
These ones here were designed by Hasbro and Takara together.
You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
There's definitely a different look.
Yeah.
To them.
And this Perceptor I just got in the mail yesterday, I believe.
I like his line work on his legs.
I've never had a Perceptor, and I was super excited to get this when they first and I ordered it like a couple weeks ago. Like it didn't take long. I had never had a Perceptor. I have the newer one, which transforms almost the exact same way. But I have never had an original Perceptor, and I love like the line work on his legs, like you said, is really cool. He does have another missile launching gun that I put off to the side because I didn't want to lose the missile. But he's just so cool. I showed him to my kids, and I was like, "Can you guys guess what the most powerful vehicle he must turn into?" Because look at that giant cannon on his shoulder and everything. And they were, he's got tank treads on the insides of his legs. So it's like he's got to transform into something amazing, right? And he's got a dial on his back that brings the head down.
Oh, that's neat.
Isn't that awesome? Man,
It is.
We lost a lot, I tell you.
Yeah,
we lost a ton. He's not super heavy, but he does have a little bit of like these really, really good ratchety. Oh, you probably can't hear it here. Hold on. There you go.
There you go.
Ratchety arms, but just really good. Hang on, I gotta remember how this goes. Nope, that goes like that. That goes down, and then we just. Should I keep doing sound effects or no?
Keep.
Boop, up. Yoink. And let everything bounce for a minute. There you go. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Does he come with any slides?
No, he does not. But the dial here actually makes the thing go in and out. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this in the camera, but like this does have lenses in it.
Yeah, you can tell that it's got a lens.
Yeah, I haven't been able, like, you can't really, if you put something on the thing, hold on, I'm going to try and look through it here.
I was going to say,
it doesn't work.
I doubt that this was designed to actually microscope, but
no, it does not. This is not, you could not replace your like school microscope with this thing and save some money. That's not going to happen.
No.
But it is I always wanted this guy, and I never wanted to go track it down because I was like, what am I going to do with a microscope guy kind of thing, But like, I just always loved the idea that this is one of those holdovers that was like from the era when Takara was still doing Diaclone and making like Soundwave type things,
Right.
turns into like a household object thing, but it didn't come out until after the first wave was done. So this is he's got a hidden tank mode.
It's very interesting. I tell you what, I really do feel like home microscopes were a big deal. We had one.
Do I have like a cat hair hanging off my arm? There we go. Yeah, look at that.
Yep,
Stupid
just
cat.
kind of stuck to you.
What the heck?
Growing out of you.
There we go.
But yeah, you don't see home microscopes very often anymore.
No, you don't. You don't, because you could just like use your phone, I guess.
Right.
You could take your phone and be
you can't see the
be like,
germs inside of water.
Get your phone here, and be like, "Wah." Look at that. You could see stuff. You could see the little ring light. Look at, man, all them details.
All them details. You best be detailing.
Oh, so anyway, that brings me to the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which is, hang on, why did that get so big?
Which is sold out.
Witches. Whoop. Yeah. So that was the movie line. Perceptor was the last one of the movie line. So the new 40th anniversary line, they're just continuing that same deal of reissues of G1 toys that have cartoon paint jobs. Also, there's a rhinoceros with a gorilla riding it. Looking forward to that one as well. That's a different thing. The Soundwave. Let's look at the Soundwave real quick, because I know you love Soundwave.
I do love Soundwave.
Comes with Laserbeak and Ravage. Their chrome has now turned again into the modern silver paint.
Yeah.
Soundwave has his red eyes from the cartoon and not the yellow eyes from the toy. And all of the chrome, I assume this is all still die-cast, but
it kind of looks like it, yeah.
They've now painted it to be more like gunmetal gray down here and some gray. Yeah. So I think it looks fantastic.
No fancy stickers or anything.
Nope, it's all paint. All these guys are all paint. And some of them the paint is just kind of slopped on to areas that didn't used to have paint to make it cartoon accurate. But this like blue on his chest, this is all from Laserbeak.
Okay.
So I don't know if they show Laserbeak in. Yeah, I think you only see Laserbeak here. So like his chest is like slightly blue tinted. And so I assume Laserbeak is just very bright white and red like he was on the show. So, but the thing that gets me is that they've gone back to the old original packaging look with the original art that they have digitally. It's the original art, but they have changed it to match the colors that the toys are now,
Right. That's very fun.
And they put the plastic window back in and you get the 40-year logo, and the same original, Hasbro logo on there. And then the back has all the tech specs. I hope it comes with the red thing, that you put on it. And this original artwork that they totally got their money's worth when they commissioned that.
Oh yeah, they did.
But yeah, I'm super excited for this, particularly because I love the Soundwave toy because it's super simple to transform, but cool. And of course the little guys. I have the 30th anniversary Soundwave reissue. I have the 20th anniversary Soundwave reissue. I have the original Soundwave that I got at a garage sale in the 90s. Like, I've got a lot of Soundwaves. For a while, I was trying to collect all the Soundwaves. But you know what I've never had, Pat?
But I fell out.
You know what I've never had? Blaster. Never had a Blaster. I played with him at a convention once, but I've never had a Blaster. I had all of his cassettes. As a kid. As a kid, I had Soundwave and none of his cassettes because I got them at a garage sale. But I had all of Blaster's cassettes because you would buy them in separate, but no Blaster. So this will be my first purchase of Blaster, and I am very excited for him because he transforms, despite turning into something very similar to Soundwave. It's a completely different toy, completely different transformation.
Yeah.
But you get Steeljaw, whose gold chrome stuff has been replaced with gold shiny paint. But again, same. Now this is not the same box. I'm pretty sure his box was much larger in the past, but they've crammed him into the same size box.
I was gonna say, isn't he like relatively larger?
He's quite a bit larger. Yeah, you could see.
So I think it's very interesting that they're the same price point.
I thought the same thing too. Well, I think that's because Soundwave comes with 2 cassettes. And Blaster comes with 1.
He gets a whole extra cassette. I get.
But they don't give him the chest that fits 2 cassettes. You get the original flat-chested Soundwave. But like this one. Exactly.
Giant, regular size Soundwave.
Right. When you hold it up to the camera, everything is giant. But yeah, Blaster is, the cassettes are all the same size, so they are compatible with each other, but he is quite a bit bigger. Although in boombox mode, he's not that much bigger. They both compress down pretty well.
But I mean, I think that it's, you know, it fits because he's a boombox and Soundwave's a Walkman.
Yeah. In real life, Soundwave is like the appropriate size for what he turns into, but Blaster is too small.
Is much smaller. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I wanted to get at. I like these retro 40th anniversary things. You know, Hasbro is putting all of their efforts into Transformers, I believe, because it's doing way better than Power Rangers for them. At least they know what to do with Transformers.
Right.
Whereas they don't seem to know what to do with Power Rangers.
I was going to say, I really do feel like, though, Transformers has universal appeal.
Mm-hmm.
You can give a transforming robot to just about any child. And if they're inclined to play with robot toys or whatever, they're going to think, oh my gosh, I can have a microscope and a robot?
Mm-hmm.
You're kidding with me. I can have a space disc and a robot? I can't believe it. I won't believe it. But yeah, Power Rangers, I do, as fun as it is still very conditional on you paying attention to the story. Like for the most part, I would not pick up a random Power Rangers figure for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I got to know the character. I got to, you know, probably have some kind of vested interest in the story for me to want to just pick up a random Power Ranger. But I pick up random Transformers like on the regular.
Yeah.
Anytime I see something cool, Transformers wise, I'm inclined to go ahead and get it.
I should look it up, but the secret tank mode is something like this.
That looks about right. Yeah.
It's not particularly great, but that's why he's got the treads on the sides of his legs that don't show up in either, like you can't see them in either mode.
Right.
Essentially, because they're on the inside, but. Well, anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I hope Hasbro decides to do more things for the 40th anniversary, but even if they just keep putting these out every couple months, I'd be happy with that.
There you go.
They have not put out Optimus yet in any of these.
Really?
They did. Well, I shouldn't. That's not entirely true. Takara is putting out that superposable version of the.
I was going to say that maybe that's what they're kind of.
But it's not
waiting on.
Technically, yeah. There's the one that's supposed to be like cartoon colored or anime colored. They call it, but it doesn't. It's not like these are. Right. You know, it's just a little bit more anime.
Maybe they just don't want to flood the market until it comes out. They want you to buy that one.
Yeah.
And then after that, they'll help you out.
There was a rumor that they were going to look into recreating some of the lost molds, like Sunstreaker, Mirage, things like that, the ones that they haven't been able to do for a long time. That would be interesting because they can nowadays, like they can just get a copy of the original one and just like kind of meticulously re-engineer it with CGI and then build molds out of it, you know?
Right.
So
makes sense.
I don't know. We'll see.
I would have to assume that if they don't, it's their own fault, but they could have a copy of every Transformer in their archives somewhere. Obviously
yes.
not the molds, but they've got the figures, hanging out somewhere.
I do know that there were times when like the current team would have to go to great lengths to find old versions of things that they didn't have in the archives. Like they would have to go on eBay and find like, we needed a copy of this old rare Japanese Transformer or something like that. And they'd have to go on eBay and get one or something. I think they had to do that. Like the Power Rangers team had to do that a bit too. If I recall, they'd have to be like, we don't have we just got this thing like 5 years ago. We have no idea. Right. So we have to go on eBay and buy copies of them so that we know what we're doing. Didn't work out as well as it could have. But anyway, hey, new topic. Longbox Heroes, Rocketeer.
Longbox Heroes. We've got our very first Longbox Hero. I am very excited for this line. These are being put out by Fresh Monkey Fiction and Toy Otter. And they started a A pretty, like, if you've been following those two companies,
Nope.
which I have, Toy Otter is just one guy, I think.
His name is literally Toy Otter.
If you look him up, it's on the internet. I told you, everything's there. He is great. If you like toys, especially any kind of behind the scenes stuff, he's a fantastic follow. He is constantly creating like digital sculpts of things that don't exist that I wish existed. Like he's done several superpowers lines, like, oh, what if He-Man was in superpowers, and he do a bunch of characters and whatnot. And superpowers is definitely kind of his sweet spot, and that's what this line is based on. So this is the long box heroes. So these are based on your favorite kind of indie comic book characters. Not super duper indie, but definitely not your straight up Marvel DC guys. And this is our very first one. This is the first one that actually has been released, and I am excited to introduce you to the Rocketeer.
Nice.
Now, he looks fantastic, but for him to be the comic book version, it really comes into focus with his. I was not expecting this, because I don't know that I've ever seen the comic book version's rocket, but this like single purple rocket that he has is very different than the movie version.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, he's just a dead ringer. It's a great. I wish I had some superpowers handy. I would show you kind of comparison on size, but it's a really nice looking figure. I don't know how well he's coming through, of course. There he is. His helmet has a really nice metallic paint on it. The eyes have a very nice black gloss, so they catch the light very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And then the body is very matte painted. Now I will say, as the box states, this is not a toy. Well, I love that.
Yeah. Sure.
This is not a toy, mostly because they're an indie company and they can't afford to pay for all the testing that makes it safe for a child to play with. But also they're not hindered by any of that either. So that's a major plus. The only gripe I have about it, and it's not really a gripe per se, so the gun is very hard plastic. There is no give to the accessory, which normally I don't think I would care about at all. But you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it on the screen there. Probably not. There it goes. Yep. See his finger there? It lost some paint.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, it does seem that these were like fully painted pieces, so it appears to be white plastic underneath. So his black gloves, if these were played with over time, his black gloves would turn white at the knuckles very quickly.
Right, but you're not going to play with it because it's not a toy.
It's not a toy. It's not a toy. So you have to be careful when you put the accessory in his hand. He did come with a lovely Long Box Heroes base, Long Box Heroes collection, that he pegs into very nicely. And I mean, he has all the articulation of a superpowers figure. You got knee, hip, shoulders, head. Just the simple stuff, and that's all you need. I am very excited to put him with the rest of my superpowers figures, because I've always loved the Rocketeer. And this is probably my favorite action figure that they've made yet of the Rocketeer. I've had the Funko 6-inch one is very nice, but this is more toyetic, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
The one that they put out for the Funko Reaction one, not very good at all. This one is leaps and bounds better. I love everything from like the wrinkles in the clothing, the sharpness of the helmet there. Like it's very iconic. it serves every purpose for me for this character. I was not financially able to buy the entire wave of these, so there may be some that come out that I don't get. But as they come through, sounds like they're going to be coming through. A couple here, a couple there. They're approving them slowly. I know the Tick is on the way. I know the Goon is on the way. Those are ones that I ordered. I ordered regular Tick, disguise Tick, where he's got a tie and a pair of glasses on, and Barry the Tick.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for all those. And the Goon, I've always loved the Goon character. Eric Powell, wonderful artist. So I'm excited for his figure, and I think I had to take a pass on the rest of them. They were all great. Honestly, I think at one point I had them all in my cart, but you got to make choices sometimes. But they're fantastic figures. If you have a superpowers display, I would recommend getting them. I think that they're a fantastic addition. McFarlane's got their superpowers going right now, so I mean there's a lot of superpower options right now, and none of them are really bad. So I'm digging it. There's also, just kind of a side note, I think it's Boss Fight Studio just put out, and I think it's just starting to come out, of a blank figure that is in the same scale and type as a superpowers. It looks like a superpowers figure, but it is a blank. I am actually hoping to get one to create a character that Brian and I hold near and dear to our hearts, stand-up guy. I'm hoping to get a nice stand-up guy figure going. So we'll report back when I have anything to tell you about that. So yeah, that's that on that one.
Cool. I think I have one topic left, and it is the second Jurassic Park Transformers crossover set of figures. The first one was a T-Rex and a the like SUV,
Yes.
that the T-Rex eats. And incidentally, because the T-Rex is female in the movie, that's the first leader class female Transformer. In case you were wondering, Pat.
Interesting. I wasn't wondering, but I'm happy I know.
First female leader class. Anyway, they did a second Jurassic Park crossover. This one now is the Dilophosaurus and the Jeep that turns into Dennis Nedry, the guy played by Newman. Yeah, Wayne Knight, I think is his name.
Wayne Knight.
Played by Newman, who gets eaten by the Dilophosaurus. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen that in 40 years.
Who is stop that?
Or is
Who
it 30
is
years?
also, it's
30
just 30
years.
Also, did you know this? I don't know if it's official, but all of his costume choices have direct references to the Goonies.
Oh, makes sense.
I don't think
thinking back about it kind of makes sense. Anyway, the point is,
yeah,
they came out with this 2-pack. Now the Jeep is okay. It's fine. It's a brand new mold, which I thought was cool. They'll probably reuse it for something else. He's got a removable hard hat for some reason, even though you have to keep it on to transform him. Otherwise, there's nowhere else to put it.
So did Dennis ever wear a hard hat?
He did not, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
But he comes with the can of shaving cream, and you could pop the top off, and it's got like a little, it looks like a crystal really, but because I haven't put any detail, but the thing where he puts the DNA, and then he's got a gun that turns into the tow winch that he tries to pull himself out of the ditch with. Anyway, it's a very standard Transformer. I don't really care about it too much, but it's cool. The real winner of this set is the Dilophosaurus, whose name is like, I don't know, it's something generic. I think the truck's name is the truck's name is like JP12, and I don't remember the Dilophosaurus name. But anyway, he is essentially, they have recreated an original Beast Wars figure, essentially, in terms of the engineering. Like all the ones on the shelf back there are the brand new ones. None of them, to me, when I played with them, was I ever like, yeah, this feels like a Beast Wars figure. They feel like modern figures that look like Beast Wars characters. I'm going to go back to the table, though, here. Okay.
Let's do it.
Here he is.
He looks great. It's a great looking figure.
Yeah, I'm not going to transform him. In Dilophosaurus mode, he doesn't have a whole lot of posability, but you can kind of see from his, like, you know, the mouth opens and closes. He does have a little, I can't really reach it, but you could see he's got like a little tab that moves there. So you can move the tab to make the mouth open and close. There you go.
Nice.
In dinosaur mode. These little fan things come off and they could be weapons, I guess. But his tail is the, you know, flips around and becomes the gun. Just like the old ones used to. His arms are on ball joints, which is a lost art. It's like, remember when the Beast Wars characters were like, diecast is a lost art. It's the ball joints. We got rid of the ball joints on most Transformers. But overall, he is a very, very solid, like, he looks cool in both modes. I'm not going to transform, like I said, but just as a comparison, here he is with an actual original Beast Wars character who has got a similar kind of look to him. Well, this is one of my favorite Beast Wars toys because it's one of those, like, auto transforming ones.
Oh, I loved that.
So, but I mean, like, look, the arms, like, same deal. No, come back. You know, ball joints, everything. I just love it. It gives me that same kind of feel of the original. This guy's really, his ball joints are really loose and he doesn't want to stand up. But, like, look at his gun. Same deal.
Yeah.
Tail flips around, becomes a gun. Exact same thing. The benefit of this guy is that his he comes with like a spitting blast effect.
That's awesome.
That goes in the mouth of the guy, but it also clips onto the front of the gun because it kind of looks like there's a barrel on the front, and then right behind it, there's that little piece that sticks up, and if you put the spit on there, it looks like that thing sprays out the top, and then there's a blaster below it. It's like blaster spitty
neat
thing. So, and he's got a cool, very cool head sculpt. Focus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there are there any reused parts on this guy?
No.
Nice.
100% brand new guy. Come on.
Doesn't wanna. Can't make it.
Do it.
Not gonna do it.
How do I had it for like one brief moment. Anyway, he has a very cool face.
Yeah, he's got a very neat helmety face. I like that.
Yeah. It actually has a, let me look at it really close. I believe there is like a dinosaur-ish mouth, like that. The dark green part on the bottom is supposed to be kind of like a toothy mouth a little bit. But either way, it's a very cool original character that I feel like coincidentally happens to be a Jurassic Park character. Like they could have just made this guy. Got cool feet. They could have just made this guy as a regular Transformer, and I would have been super thrilled about it. So I'm very happy with it.
That's awesome.
So I think that's, unless you have any other topics, I think that's it for today.
You know what? I just wanted to throw this one little thing out there, and I mean that quite literally. You know how much I love minis. I was at Five Below the other day and discovered this line of Mario figures.
Oh, my son would love that.
And they're so tiny. They come with like a little box. I gave my daughter the box. You know, it's a little question mark box, and then it opens up, and it has one single sticker on it that's kind of a background. But I think that I could easily mod that and make some stickers that look like the Mario game, and that would be really fun to have him run around in. But yeah, I freaking love miniature action figures. I love it. I'm carrying around like this little box holds what was like damn near my entire childhood collection worth of toys. It's wonderful.
It definitely saves a lot of space.
It does.
It does
I'm
make
gonna get rid of.
It makes displays a lot
stuff
harder because you can't see them, you know. But
no, it's great. I'm just gonna put the display up here. I'll stand next to it.
You'll stand behind it and look through.
Yeah, I love it. Anyway, if you're like me and you're a weirdo, check out Five Below for other miniature action figurals. So.
Yep.
But other than that,
all right. Well,
that's all we got.
I think you know what time it is, Pat.
No, it's just bedtime.
Oh yeah, no, it is. There you go. That's
Oh, no,
what.
it's time to show it how it's done.
Time to show you how it's done. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next time.